Frank's story didn't begin in a soft cradle or a sunny town like other Brawl Stars characters. He opened his eyes deep underground in the darkest corner of an abandoned mine, right in the middle of an electric storm that tore through the sky. When Frank was born, he didn't cry like other babies. Instead, he let out a massive roar that shook the mine walls and moved the very rocks themselves. Frank was different from any other infant. He wasn't just a baby, he was a warrior. Even at just a few months old, while his peers played with plastic toys, he was trying to lift heavy, rusted pieces of iron. When his parents saw this uncontrollable, gargantuan strength, they were worried for his future. But when they looked into his eyes and saw that pure innocence, they understood the truth. He was just a loving child trapped in a giant's body. What do you think Frank loved playing with most in those mine depths as a baby? Write your guesses in the comments right now, and let's see who knows Frank's childhood secrets. Years flowed by like water. As Frank grew bigger every day, the narrow mine corridors began to feel too small for his broad shoulders. One day, in the deepest depths where no one dared to step, he found an ancient, rusted, massive hammer. This hammer was so heavy that the 10 strongest men in town couldn't have moved it together. But Frank reached out and lifted the giant hammer without any effort, just like a feather. At that exact moment, the mysterious power sleeping inside Frank for years fully awakened. Every time he struck the ground, not with anger but with excitement, the earth trembled and giant rocks shattered into dust. This incredible moment was the birth of his first ability, Hammer Hit. Yet Frank never used this destructive power to hurt anyone. He only used it to clear giant obstacles from people's paths and to help them. When Frank reached his teenage years, the mischievous and jealous kids of the town tried to take advantage of his quiet nature. They played constant pranks on him, cruelly mocking him for his heavy frame and clumsy movements. Despite it all, Frank only smiled, never wishing to harm anyone with the goodness in his heart. But one day, a group of ruthless bandits attacked the mining village. The children who had mocked Frank all hid behind him in fear. Without hesitation, Frank swung his hammer with great determination to protect his loved ones. The moment the hammer hit the ground, the bandits charging at him were sent flying by a massive shockwave. The bandits threw everything they had at him to stop him, but every projectile turned to dust and bounced off Frank's steel-like body. Frank had already learned to harden his body like a mass of iron. This unshakable resistance was his first gadget, noise-canceling headphones. Now, no one could stop him, no force could turn him from his path. Shortly after, he discovered his active noise-canceling ability, allowing him to pull fleeing bandits toward him with a magnetic force. Frank had become an adult giant respected by all who saw him. Just before joining the legendary Brawl Stars arena, he faced his greatest test. A massive robot that destroyed everything in its path had invaded the mining town. Frank raised his hammer high above his head, gathered all the breath in his lungs, and let out a thunderous "Gwaaah!" He struck the ground so violently that the giant robot froze in place as if turned to ice. This monumental blow was his legendary super ability, Stunning Blow. Now, Frank wasn't just hitting the ground, he was stunning everything around him with the invisible shockwave he emitted. From that day on, everyone realized one thing. The only thing destructive about Frank wasn't his anger, but his unwavering strength that delivered justice. When Frank entered the arena with great pride, he encountered the mystic energy deep within Starr Park. This magical energy granted him 2 ancient powers. The first was Power Grab, which made him stronger as he defeated his opponents. He added their scattered energy to his own, growing more formidable with every victory. His other great ability was Sponge, which gave him infinite endurance. His body became so solid and durable that no blow in the arena could easily take him down. Frank defeated his opponents one by one, and finally he was declared champion. But the greatest moment of transformation for Frank wasn't becoming the arena champion. It was when he touched a mysterious purple crystal in the depths of the mine. His entire body became covered in a glowing purple plasma. Now every time he struck his hammer, the ground didn't just shake, it split in two. This was his unstoppable Hypercharge. Frank had transformed from that small, quiet boy in the mine into a titan that defied gravity, opponents, and time itself. That is the story of the giant-hearted Frank. Though he may look like a terrifying monster from the outside, he still carries the pure heart of that little boy playing with iron in the mine. Frank taught us that real strength isn't about how heavy your hammer is, but the purpose of the kindness you use it for. Do you think Frank is the strongest and most unshakable character in the Brawl Stars arena? Or is there another giant brave enough to shake his throne? If you loved this emotional and powerful story, don't forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel, hitting the notification bell as fast as Frank hits the ground with his hammer. Which legend's mysterious past should we examine in our next video? Will it be the fierce and unstoppable Edgar, who makes the world small for his rivals with his scarf? Or the mysterious Crow, who glides through the shadows and finishes his enemies slowly with the poison on his daggers? The choice is yours. Stay in the arena, stay legendary. Goodbye.